Okay, it is exactly 11. So I call the meeting back to order. This is our AGM part, business meeting. You all have seen the agenda for the meeting. So can someone move for approval of the agenda, please? Dwayne and Mary? Any objections to approve the meeting? Any discussion about it? Hearing none, I approve the agenda as it was presented. Minutes were also circulated earlier. So I would take a motion to for adoption of the minutes, please. Ed, and a seconder, please. Say, Courtney. Any discussion about the minutes? Any mistakes anybody found? So, is there any objections to approving or adopting it? If not, I declare that minutes were adopted as presented. Auditor's report.
I'm coming.
Thanks, Dale.
Maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay. It's struggling with me.
Dale was one of our auditors, so he is going to present his report.
So, Amanda,
Jamie, go ahead and share it.
please.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, folks. Give me a sec. Try that. I got it. Can you guys see that?
Not yet.
No. Back to Amanda then. Contrary to previous years, I'm going to be brief this year. Because apparently not everybody likes numbers as much as I do.
We can handle it as long as it's good news.
Well, no miracles from me. Happy to see that you've done some strategic plan work. There we go. So I'll have to ask you to advance as well, Amanda. So go ahead, please. You've seen all that. We volunteered to do this. We're going to show you briefly income statements and balance sheets. Keep going. We did our usual magic, making things come to balance. We'll go over the statements and a couple of comments and notes arising from audit. So we start out with opening balance of about 43,000, closed with about 27. Most of the cash inflows from memberships, sponsorships, and conference sources and farming web dollars was nominal. Major cash out related to AFIN operations and finalizing website development and admin. From totals point of view, we had inflows of 25, outflows of 43 for an aggregate net income for the organization of about an $18,000 loss in total. Next, please. This will be the fastest I've ever done one of these, by the way, but I've been practicing. All this is from an audit point of view, because AFIN is a facilitating organization and tries to run a break even. This is the kind of thing that you expect to see in financial statements. Over the long haul, AFIN has averaged about $2,500 in net income in 2023. Aside from Farming the Web, there was a net loss of about $7,000. Next, please. This just charts it out, showing the average net income net of Farming the Web over this 10-year period. And yes, Surya, I remember being there in that opening meeting when we all started doing this. So long-term average net income being just under $2,000. Next, please. And this is just for those of you who really like numbers, you can come back and take a look at this. I've submitted the report to Amanda, and it will be available to you guys soon. Next slide, please. This is the income statement breaking out AFIN and Farming the Web activities in the last year. And then one thing that you can see is that previous years there was lots of activity on the Farming Web website, and now it's basically transitioning over to AFIN operations. Cash inflows of 27 for AFIN for 25, and that was pretty much the bulk of it. And you see losses of $7,000 and $11,000 for about an $18,000 loss in total. You can pause there for a second. Any hands questioning any of those items on that page?
Question, Bill is asking. Go ahead, Dwayne.
It would be on the Farming the website, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did you hear that, Dale?
I got it. That's where it'll be.
Good.
And we can move on then.
Thanks
Oh,
for
actually,
pointing that out.
You don't have to back up, Amanda. One of the things that happened, and when we do the notes to readers, I'll touch on that again. We did have a few challenges making sure that we got some of the expenses in the right holes on that form to make sure that they're comparable year over year. But we did our due diligence and made our best estimates. So that's pretty reflective of the activities there. So this is the balance sheet. This is what we have in the bank. You see there's not much left from Farming the Web activities. Total assets for the organization, about $26,000. About $800 in credit card debt outstanding at the end of the year, for a net equity at the end of the year about $25,000. On this, none of this recognizes there's not been an evaluation of Farming Web as an asset on this, and that is something that probably should be done. Okay, next, please. And this is just the cash flow. For those of you who love cash, this is how we made sure that all the books balance, because when you plug things in to the spreadsheet, all these are supposed to balance, and it took a little while, but we got it to work. As we go forward, and basically the Farming the Web category essentially disappears from a major activity, this will get less and less messy all the time. And next. So notes arising from audit, just wanted to say that we did have some issues tracking some of the expenses associated with credit card allocating them between Farm and Web and AFIN activities, but I think we've got a pretty good estimate in those sheets. It all tallies up organization-wide to balance. So when you look at the totals, everything's as it should be. I touched on the bit about valuing assets. That's on the second point. In any financial audit, basically you look forward and say what's going to change in the future. And part of this, you've already highlighted, Surya, that we have to determine what happens with farming the web. And we could probably use a update to the spreadsheets to bridge between the accounting software and compiling for financial audit, and it would help. There's more detailed notes in the auditor's report on this about project-based allocations, etc. So we could report based on projects, and that should be just about it.
Does this include this year, any amount for this year? 2024?
No,
This was
That-
only for 20 up to 23.
Yeah.
23 March. Okay, good. Any
Uh,
questions?
actually, to fiscal year end December 31st.
December 31st of 23.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions? Those who are online, do you have a question? No? Okay. Can you move for adoption of the or approval of your financial report, Dale?
So move that we accept the financial or the auditor's report as presented.
Seconder, please. Grant? Any other discussion? If not, the auditor's report is approved as presented. Now our responsibility is to choose the next year's auditors. And since Carlisle is not doing well, Dale suggests that we should take another person with him to do the audit for next year. Do you have a name, Dale, to suggest?
I have some feelers out to a couple of individuals, and I'm still twisting arms.
Okay.
My name will stand if you have any other volunteers.
Anybody else wants to take this major job? We pay very well. 0.
They doubled my salary.
Yeah. Anyone volunteers to do it with Dale? If not, it's your responsibility, Dale. We put your name in our minutes, and we hope that you will come up with another name to support you.
Well, between you and me and the light post, we'll find somebody.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Dale. And we should also thank Carlisle.
I will. It's been a pleasure, and I will let Carlisle know.
Please do. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Election of AFIN board members. This is one responsibility. Our vice chair takes it seriously. So I'll turn it over to Ed Shaw.
I think up tall guys get discriminated against. We always have to adjust the mic.
I do it.
Anyway, this has been quite a challenge to this year to find people to step up for directors. We've had some people, Greg Earl was the other exporter on there. He's too busy to do it right now. So he is dropping off. We've had a seed company drop off as well. I tried to get a hold of Vern and we played telephone tag. He's going to get back to me, so I'm still working on that. So this is the slate of officers that's being put forward. For chair, Saria has agreed to stay on unless somebody wants to put their name forward. So if somebody else wants to nominate somebody here, can you put their name forward? I'll ask again, is there somebody else that wants to nominate somebody or put their name forward? Go for a third time. Then I declare Saria as chair. Vice chair, there's got to be somebody step up for vice chair. There's got to be somebody to be nominated here, not me. Anyway, any nominations for vice chair from the floor? Going twice? Going three? I guess I'm the chair, vice chair. Nora has been our treasurer. We did have to bend her arm a little bit. She was fairly busy and wanted to step down, but she's willing to step in for another year unless somebody else wants to put their name forward. Anybody want to nominate somebody or you're volunteer? Going once? Again, anybody want to volunteer for treasurer? Going twice?
It's actually a very good job. You know everything about our finances.
And third, I declare Nora elected. Secretary, Grant Stuka. Grant Lestuka. Sorry, Grant. Anybody want to take on the job as secretary? Going once? Again, anybody want the secretary? Going twice?
Amanda's amazing.
Going three times? Well, congratulations, Grant. Past chair is Chris. That's not going to change because she's still a past chair. Kim Cornish, she will stay on if we can't find anybody, but she's pretty busy as well. Is Kim still on the line? Do you want to say something, Kim? What was that? Okay. Well, the other thing she did say to us, and we need to, after we get the board together, we need to find out maybe a time that is applicable because she said that our meetings generally conflict with another meeting. So I think we could work around that. Amber is no longer, she's dropped off the board. And so I'm just going to go through these directors now. We got Cole, Brent, John, Doug, Tamara, Mary Jane Block, Courtney O'Keefe, Dale Vandenberg, Greg Earl. It will stay on if we twist his arm, and I think we'll leave his name there. We're going to try get somebody else from the export group. And Kim has dropped his name off. So we are looking to, from the floor, if there anybody, we need some nomination for directors. Who wants to become a director on this? Oh, she has dropped off? Oh. Oh, Dwayne. What did I say? Sorry. It started with a D. Thanks for pointing that out, John. Anybody want to volunteer, even in the audio or in the zooming in? Anybody want to become a director?
There is a hand.
Oh, of course you can.
Spell the name, please, so that we can record it.
Josep. And then last name is AITKE.
Okay. Anybody else want to nominate or volunteer? For third time? I would suggest I nominate and cease, so congratulations. I think that if we, during the year, we can try to backfill some of these, if somebody we could twist somebody's arm. I think that's what we'll do, so we've got quite a few directors already, but we need to get new blood in here. We need to really promote the forage industry. We need to get more people like in the equine, the sheep, and even the buffalo. We need to get those, anybody that uses forage or grass, we need to get more activity, and we need to broaden our view. So that'll be the goal of the board this year, is try to light some fires and do some good stuff so we can shout from the tops of buildings how good that forage, what it does for industry. So thank you very much. Yeah. Come up to the podium, come up to the podium.
I guess just in comment, through all these years of the development of this organization, the biggest challenge has always been the diversity. And the reality is the diversity is your greatest strength, your greatest weakness. And the fact that we are so diverse, and organizations that maybe could be part of this have their own funding, so they chose not to. Alberta's dairy industry, for instance, and the horse industry, which uses more stored forages than anyone, but is a segmented group. It's just everybody can be part of the future. Simply that fact that we are so diverse means we need your support from the diversity side. And that is the challenge of it, the strength, the weakness, and also the voice that is needed.
Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Grant, for those comments. We need, we have two positions open for from the Ducks Unlimited. I think we always had a representative from them, and also we need a advisor from the provincial government. We have one of our advisor from America is Alan Hall. We have a ABP representative. We have also federal government representative in our board, but we need someone from provincial government. Alan, do you think there is anybody who can? Susan would see join? Okay. We have to find someone from the provincial government. We used to have one, but she has retired since, and now we have to find someone to replace her. We would like to also have someone from Ducks. But would they come back again? 1 year ago. Okay. Well, there is nothing wrong in trying. I think we should try and see if they would send someone, because that's an important organization to have in our board. So can I give you that responsibility, Dwayne? Talk to them and get back to us? Okay. Okay, Doug Ray has taken the responsibility to find someone from Ducks. So with that, I think the election and the board is done. Our appointment for advisor position is still there. We have to find people to appoint. And if someone wants to move for adjournment of this meeting, aye. See, John Bland has the big hand up. Okay, seconder is Ed Shaw. They're very good always to adjourn meetings. That our business meeting is adjourned. So do you have any questions so far? We have a little bit of time before lunch break. Lunch is not here yet. So any questions? When did Heather say that she would make 12:30? Okay. So can you somehow contact them and say that we are ready for lunch? I think we're sorry, those who are joining us online. I think we have finished we are so efficient. We finished our business meeting so fast. So if those who don't know the process here, we will have lunch, and then around 12:30, last year's leadership award winners would make a presentation. So they're not here in person, but they will make a presentation online. So we will be able to see them and enjoy their presentation. One other thing I should mention is this year we did not select a person or a group to give this our leadership award, which we normally do. But next year we will have someone for sure, because that's an important aspect of having a group, having an organization like ours, to award those who have put a lot of emphasis, lot of their time and energy for development of the group. So that is what the award is for, those who are leading people in the forage industry. Please come up with names, suggest to us who we should give the award. We will choose one of those. And all of us are involved in this. So I'm requesting everyone to put some nominations. Any other question? Any other comments or suggestions? If not, I will keep shut and wait for the lunch to come for us to have lunch. And at 12:30, we will have the presentation from our last year's leadership award winners. Okay? Thank you.
Real quick. Okay. And we can probably get started in a minute or two.
Sure. Okay. That sounds great.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, if everyone is able to eat and listen at the same time, we've got our 2023 recipient of our Leadership Award on the call, and she's juggling a few things for us. So we said we would, while we have everyone sitting and paying attention, we'll get her on here. Heather, just make sure. Here we go. Okay, Heather, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Absolutely. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to make you a bit bigger for everyone. There we go. Okay. Surya, did you want to introduce her or? Everyone knows.
Everyone knows who is our last year's leadership award winner, Heather, and her husband, Mike. We gave them John, sorry. We gave both of them because they have a seed company, seed cleaning company, they call it. So now, Heather, take it over. If you want to say anything more about yourself, go ahead.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. From John and myself. And John is not here, just so you know, he's home working like he always is. And we wish we could be there, but I committed to another, I'm on a forum and we're at Kananaskis right now. And so I was gonna send in a recorded message, but I'm not that high tech. And so I thought it might be easier to just phone. So between John and myself, we kind of wrote a little bit of a bio. And I just wanted to say thanks everybody for this honor. And yeah, we were thinking, I could make it sound like we're in Hawaii or something, but that's a lie. And I could make it sound like we're having an emergency at home, but that's also a lie. And so I just wanted to let you know that I am on a pilot project in Kananaskis in a group of 36 farmers today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And we've done this already 3 days in Manitoba, 3 days in Saskatchewan. It's called the Prairie Farmer and Rancher Forum. And so I committed to doing this and I just couldn't get out of it. Otherwise, we would have come to your meeting. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background. Way back in the decades ago, which sounds like a whole long time ago, but we started out with the Alberta Alfalfa Seed Producers Association Peace Branch. And on that board, I was selected to that board years ago, and I got to know some amazing people like Bob Gartley and Don Peterson and Rich Sewell and Bernie Legault and a whole bunch of others, all mostly involved in alfalfa seed and leaf cutter bee production. And we learned lots from all those people. Over the years, I was on their board for a number of years until in the 90s, they started deciding that maybe we needed a more encompassing group that was rolled in to be the Peace Region Forage Seed Association. And while on that group, we had an inaugural board, and I got to meet some more amazing people like Dave Wong and Calvin Yoder. We had some really good research scientists over the years like Dr. Nigel and Daphne Ferry. And back in the 90s, we were involved in the Canadian Seed Trade Association. So we all contributed money into a fund for research. And then once we got the levy up and going, I ended up getting on that board. And I was on there for 9 years and was the treasurer for about 7 out of the 9 years. And also at that time, Dave Wong started investigating and doing some research, gathering information about forming a national forage association for forage seed across Canada. So we all went to Winnipeg and we decided in this group of representatives from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. And we decided at that time that maybe it was time to develop a national voice. So we formed a national association and it was called Forage Seed Canada. And I got to be on that inaugural board as well, stayed on it as a board member for a number of years, eventually took on the president's role. And we met more amazing people, as we always seem to do, such as like Weldon and BJ Hobbs are a good example. And at that time, Roundup Ready alfalfa was becoming a concern in Canada. And so we went with a consortium of 3 of us. And between Weldon and Les Jacobson from Manitoba and myself, we got to travel to Ottawa and we met with the then Minister of Agriculture, Jerry Ritz. And we also met with the then ag critic, Wayne Easter. We fought hard and long for a few years, trying to keep Roundup Ready alfalfa out of Canada. It came into Eastern Canada, so we continued to fight to keep it out of Western Canada. And after making multiple trade shows, Weldon and BJ and I made some booth decorations, and we had our own trade booth. And I went and I spoke to the Ag Fieldmen of Alberta, spoke to the Alberta Association of Municipal Districts and Counties, and went to many different individual meetings of the MDs and the counties up in the Peace. And in the end, they passed a resolution in Alberta to keep Roundup Ready or genetically engineered alfalfa out of Alberta. until the rest of the world accepts the technology. And they did that with a resolution that was passed by the Alberta Association of Municipal Districts and Counties. And then they took it to the cities as well. And they also were jumping onto the same bandwagon. So far, maybe if things go on as they are, we're hoping that Roundup Ready alfalfa is still not considered allowed, but we're hoping that it's not in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Anyways, at the same time, we were running our own seed cleaning plant. We started a seed processing and marketing business back in 1982, and we still run it today. It's called Golden Acre Seeds. We have a farm as well, and we started leaning our farm towards organic in the early 2000s, started attending organic meetings. And lo and behold, I ended up on an organic Alberta board for 7 years. And then we attended a bunch of other, I always would drag my poor husband along with me, and we would go to all these different meetings, attended organic conferences. We went to Las Vegas for the alfalfa seed meetings. We went to Saskatoon and Winnipeg for the forage seed meetings. I went to Whistler. We went to Kananaskis for 3 years. Always attending seed meetings, whether it was Alberta seed growers or forage seed meetings. Every year I go to one in Kansas City for the forage seed side of things for our business. And then in 2003, our oldest son came home from attending Grand Prairie Regional College for 4 years, and he decided he wanted to come and farm with us, which was very nice. We have 4 children. He's the oldest. The other 3 are, 2 of them are currently daughters that are married. One's married to a welder. One is married to a rancher, and they both live in Fairview. We have another son, our second son. He lives and he runs his own marketing business in Grand Prairie. And we have 10 grandchildren currently. But our oldest son, when he came back, he sort of took our farm up to the next level. We dove in, got cattle for a number of years. We expanded our acreage exponentially to 6 times of what we were when John and I were farming alone. We then transitioned some of our new land that we had expanded to organic. And so throughout all of this time, John has always been what I would call my forage seed consulting expert. He devotes a lot of hours of his time, gives knowledge and advice to anybody who asks him if they want to know about crop rotations, about organic, about weeds, about combine settings, about pasture mixes or blends, seeding methods. He's always on the phone with people giving advice. And I sit in the background and I absorb through osmosis a lot of what he says. And so now when people phone, I can always try to answer as best I can. And if I don't know, I always have my cliche answer of I'll just ask my husband and get back to you. And so I have learned a ton just by listening to him talking on the phone. Our family farm turned 100 in 2014. It was started by my husband's grandma and grandpa, and so we are 3rd generation farmers, and our son is now 4th generation. He has 2 daughters, so we're hoping that maybe we'll have a 5th generation. In 2018, we received the Fairview and District Farm Family Award, which we were really proud to achieve. And then a number of years ago, we had the great opportunity, I guess I would say, to take over production and marketing rights on some alfalfa seed varieties. And so we started off with one called AC Yellowhead, which is one of the Falcata yellow alfalfa varieties. We'd always been growing Anik. And so when we also got the ability to take on the Yellowhead, we did that. And then a few years after that, we were also able to get some of the oldies, I'd say, but goodies of the couple old varieties of alfalfa. So we took on the Beaver variety and Rambler. And so now we have 3 varieties that we are sort of stewarding, I guess, in Canada. And we have a lot of people, still lots of interest in people phoning us wanting to know if we grow those old varieties. So we're proud to say that we do. We've been pedigreed seed growers for more than 30 years. And so we've also always, through our farming career, we've always been growing mostly forage seed varieties like Kirk crested wheatgrass, Carlton, smooth brome. But now we also have added the alfalfas. And so we do leaf cutter bees as well. Our son has dove into a lot of this in a much bigger way than we would have done it on our own. So we're sort of the followers and we're not the leaders anymore. One of the last things we've done is we've taken on a couple of varieties of canola with the U of A. They are developing a few varieties and we're being trusted with growing some of their new traded varieties, their Clearfield canola variety that they just released. And so we are growing them, their non-GMO variety. And so we are just sort of going a little bit in a different direction with some of our land that is not organic. It's a different, but we feel an extremely important new path that is allowing us to maintain a certain amount of control over what we grow in the future. With all of the new changes, such as the royalties and the TUAs and the VUAs and the contracts and the power and control going a lot more and more to bigger companies, and now with a lot of politics and policies kind of invading into what we have been pretty much in control of for our whole lives, it's we feel it's really important. And so we're trying to maintain a little bit of control, and we look at it as being that we are like we're like the Lorax. If anybody knows what the Lorax is the little guy that speaks for the trees, and we say that we are speaking for the little guys. So we're speaking for the farmers, the ranchers, our friends, our customers. So we're kind of like the Lorax of the seed side of things, I guess. And we also feel like we're a part of a huge family, including everybody that's at this meeting there. And we all agree that we all love the industry that we're in. And we're really, really proud of all that we've accomplished. But I would say that we're still not done yet. We have been striving, I guess. My husband always says, we want to work with nature. We want to have good rotations. We want to be improving our soil. And we want to ultimately produce safe food. So that's his own words that he tells a lot of people on a regular basis. We're trying to step back a little bit now from having complete control over what's happened in our lives. And so we've kind of turned the reins over to our son, since he's been a full partner with us since 2012. And then in 2016, we started the transition. So he is now officially my boss, and he's officially my husband's boss. And so we still work over all aspects of our business. I guess we're still involved in, but we have way less stress. We have way less decision making. We have way less worry about we let him do all the planning, and he's basically taken over pretty much all the responsibility of making the big decisions. And so for us, it's sort of like we're slowing down from what we always considered was a fast run to a slow run. And now we're down to kind of like a saunter, I guess I would say. It's been a pleasure working with all of the people that we have learned so much from, and made friends with so many people in the industry. We appreciate all the great friends and associates that we've made in this super industry. We've been immersed in it for more than 40 years now. And all of the people are what makes this whole industry enjoyable. We still love to get up every morning. We still go to work every day, maybe not quite as many hours as we used to. And I still love to combine. I tell my son that. He always says, for me to combine, I have to agree to ride on that combine or sit on that combine for up to 100 days a year. And that's We start combining in the middle of July because we do a lot of different grasses and species, and so we start combining middle of July, and we usually don't finish till close to the end of October on a normal year, sometimes into November. And so I've moved my way up the ladder. I've been combining now for about 16 years. And a couple of years ago, he told me I moved up to being number 3 on his combine operator list. And who's above me is my husband and my son. And so we have other operators, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that he considers now I'm an operator and not just a driver. Anyways, I just want to say a huge thank you, being appreciated, being acknowledged in this for this leadership award is very humbling, I'm honored. John wishes he could be here. He doesn't, honestly, he doesn't wish he could be here. He's happy being at home. He's always the wise, quiet guy in the background, and I'm always the voice, the face, and the overbearing, loud person that takes part in everything. So I just want to say very, very much a big thank you. We're very honored and very appreciative, and we hope you guys have a great meeting, and we will try to come next year. So very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Heather. It was very nice that at least you could spend some time, even though it is not on, you were not here in person, but at least we could hear you and see you. So that
Well,
was
that's
very
great.
nice of you. Thank you. And
All
I
right,
think
thanks, everybody.
Nora Polovich, our treasurer, actually nominated them because she is a lot more closer to them, and she is in that area, in the Peace River area. So I think thank you again, and we thank Nora for nominating someone like them. I think they are very well known in the northern part of Alberta, also with the seed industry. So thank you again, Heather. Very nice that you could make it.